And the first thing I want to do is talk to you a little bit about some interviews we did with some teachers. And these interviews were done at JALT, which is in Japan, but they're with teachers from all sorts of other countries. We asked them 3 questions. What mobile devices do you own? What do you use them for? And do you use any of them for or in class? Now, I believe we have a little poll for the online viewers right now. So if the poll could go up for the online viewers, I'm going to play you the video. And the first video is what mobile devices do you own? We're not going to watch the whole video, but this will give you an idea about what people have. Let's see how this goes.
I have a couple. Of course, my own mobile handphone, which I use for just calling and messaging. I have an iTouch, which we use in school, which I will talk about a little bit later. And I'm kind of like interested in technology, so I do play around with Nintendo Wii, as well as I have my own personal Microsoft Xbox. I have, like you, I have a Flip. Mine's a Flip Ultra, 8 gigabytes I think. I have this Edirol audio recorder, MP3 voice recorder, which you can plug a microphone into, and I have iPod Touch, and I also have a mobile phone somewhere.
I just have to say that Darren actually had those things in his pocket. He didn't bring them along especially.
I have my cell phone, and I have my PlayStation Portable, and I also have my mini netbook.
I only have cell phone.
This is my iPod Touch, which I use for music and also for playing games. I have quite a lot of apps. So just when I have a few minutes here and there, I get my games out. And my daughter also on the aeroplane, great for aeroplanes for my child. So.
Yeah, actually that's one of my main uses for my iPhone, is keep a couple of movies in here for the kids when we're at a restaurant to keep them
it's awful. You sound awful.
No, no, but it's not. I mean, you know, if those times. But there are many really
like terrible parents. It was interesting for me. You'll see Darren there. He pulls out. It's like he's got magic pockets. You know, he keeps pulling gadgets out of them. He is a big fan of technology. But one of the things that struck me watching these videos is how much personal buying and personal use is spilling over into the classroom. And you're probably similar, or some of you, I'm sure you are. You buy these gadgets because you think they're going to be useful and things, and you take them with you, perhaps into your classes. Lucky are the few who have access to these kind of tools in their teaching, I think. Okay, can we get some poll results? Let's see. Do you own a smartphone or tablet computer? 73% of those viewing online own a tablet or smart computer. Clearly, a tablet computer, sorry. So clearly, teachers are spending their very, very hard-earned cash on these kind of gadgets. Interesting results. We'll have another poll in a second. Okay, so that's the first question. I'm going to ask you to talk about these in a minute, so start thinking, okay? So the second question is, what do you use them for? So let's see what people have to say. If I can stop this man. There we go.
The voice recorder, I mainly use it to record interviews with teachers for a podcast I make. The Flip video camera I use for, of course, for personal things, like recording family stuff. I also use it to record interviews with teachers professionally, and I use it an awful lot in the classroom. Or actually, to be honest, I don't use this Flip. I use the Kodak ZI-8, which is a similar handheld camera, but in some ways a little better because it's got an external microphone jack. But we've got, how many? 12 of them we bought in our department, and we use them for, we can just do basic conversation transcriptions, or you can give them to the students and they can often do drama skits, or we just did some, they all did instructional videos in a group, that kind of thing. And finally, the iPod Touch, I use it for listening to music, and also at home, because that's the only place I can use the wireless, I use it to check email and Twitter and Facebook and things like that.
Well, I have a netbook, and I usually just download music or movies or TV shows, and then on the long commutes, I'll watch that on the way to school.
I use my cell phone to read blogs, to write my own blogs, and also to look up my train times and my subway times.
I use the...
Okay, so you see a variety of uses there, but what's interesting for me there is perhaps some of these people are getting beyond the mobile phone to things like the flip cam. Has anyone got a flip? One of the best ever gadgets made, I think. Jeremy's nodding in agreement because he goes around recording teachers all around the world with it. Crystal clear video. If you don't have one, get one now because the company is stopping producing them, and they are one of the best gadgets ever made, ever. Beautiful video cameras. Very, very cheap. USB port plugged straight into a computer. Beautiful. But people using a variety of gadgets, it's not about phones and tablets necessarily. It's also about audio recorders. It's about digital cameras. It's about e-book readers. It's about video cameras, all sorts of things. Anything that you can carry around with you and take into class, or they can take with them somewhere else, and I'll come back to that later, that's mobile. It's not about phones. Okay, the last question is, do you use any of them for or in class? Let's see what these people have to say.
Well, a few years ago, I was teaching a sort of pragmatics-based, sort of content-based course where we were doing speech acts. So each week we were looking at very short video clips from movies and having the students, analyze the apology and was it an appropriate apology and all that kind of stuff. And as homework, I would have the students take their phones and go home and watch a DVD and literally just record right off the screen, capture about a 6, 7, 10 second clip of an example of an apology or a greeting or an introduction, and then bring that back to the classroom and then sit in small groups. And basically, because the screen is so small, but if you're sitting like this, you're showing the other student the clip, and then you're explaining why it's an interesting clip and why you chose that clip. Then the next student does it again. They do it at, let's say, a group of 4, and then between them they decide which one is the most interesting clip out of all of them, and then perhaps build a little poster presentation or something off of that. So it becomes kind of the basis for kind of information gathering. So because of course the quality is very low quality, right? You're pointing your phone at the TV. But it's good enough for the classroom, and it's good enough to sort of bring back the sort of realia of media that they can bring in. And of course they can access YouTube on their phones in many cases, so they may not even need to actually record.
Yeah, we've used this one, the voice recorder. So especially when they're going to do something like a speech contest or something, they record themselves, they can listen back. I can also record the speech for them, and they can take me home, sit listening to Joanna at home. Also I've used this camera, very, very easy camera for oral assessment. It means, as Marcus will tell you,
or maybe not anymore.
Maybe not anymore. You can go and watch it later, and you don't have to, sit down and use a check sheet or something like that. You can go away and do that later in your office or at home.
Okay, that's great. Thank
And
you,
again
Marcus.
there. Mobile learning is also not necessarily all whiz-bang and flashing lights, You can record a bit of video off the screen with your iPhone, or you can use an old-style video camera. One of the great things I think that these devices allow us to do is replicate lots of things that we have done traditionally in our classrooms. You have a voice recorder, you have a video recorder, all these things that we might have done using a variety of equipment now fit into one little box, and that's an amazingly powerful box. Okay, hush now. There we go. Right, I'm just going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to say hello to the person next to you again. Same 3 questions. What mobile devices do you own? What do you use them for? And do you use any of them for or in class? Okay, so just 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, just going to stop you there. I know we're a little bit short of time, and again, these are big questions. Just looking at the poll online, we've got a slightly different statistic there. 56% of the people watching online use their handheld devices in class, which is encouraging. We don't know what they do, but maybe they're just listening to music while the kids are doing exams, but we don't know that. Has anybody got anything they would like to share? Any burning things or any interesting things people are doing with mobile devices? Please feel free. There's a mic coming your way.
was just going to say that I work for the Open University,
Okay.
and all our teaching now is online.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach using an iPad
Yeah.
online, all my courses, so EAP courses and business English courses and so on.
And you're using Moodle, right?
Yeah, VLE,
Yeah.
but also Illuminate. So we do synchronous and asynchronous, but we're using iPads more and more for
Yeah, thank you.
explaining.
And in fact, there are some very good Moodle clients now for the iPad and Android tablets that make using Moodle on tablets very, very usable, I think. So thank you very much.